Social Security collapse warning. Millions could lose 19% of retirement benefits by 2034. A financial storm is quietly forming in the United States, and millions of Americans have no idea what's coming. Government reports are warning that Social Security, America's retirement lifeline, could face a historic funding crisis within the next decade. If nothing changes, seniors across the country could see their monthly retirement checks cut automatically by nearly 20%. For millions of retirees, that could mean the difference between paying rent, buying medicine, or putting food on the table. This is not a rumor. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a warning coming directly from U.S. government financial trustees. The question is Social Security collapsing? And what does this mean for you, your parents, and your future? In this video, we break down what's happening behind closed doors in Washington, why experts say the system is running out of money, and what could happen if Congress fails to act in time. Stay with us, because this could be the biggest retirement crisis in modern American history. Social Security is one of the largest and most powerful government programs in the history of the United States. It was created during the Great Depression, when millions of elderly Americans were left with nothing, no savings, no pensions, and no safety net. The goal was simple. No American should grow old and be forced to live in poverty. Every American worker pays into Social Security with every paycheck. A portion of their salary is automatically taken as payroll tax and sent to the federal government. That money is used to pay today's retirees, disabled citizens, widows, and surviving children. Today, more than 70 million Americans receive Social Security benefits. That includes retirees who worked for decades, people who became disabled and could no longer work, and families who lost a parent or spouse. For many seniors, Social Security is the foundation of their entire financial life. It is the check that pays the rent. It is the money that buys groceries. It is what keeps the lights on and the heat running. For millions of elderly Americans, Social Security is their only reliable income. Some retirees receive only a small pension or have limited savings, but Social Security arrives every month like clockwork. For others, it represents more than half of their total retirement income. And for many low-income seniors, it is nearly 100% of what they live on. Workers trust this system. They spend 40 or 50 years paying into it, believing that when their working days are over, the system will protect them. Social Security has long been considered untouchable in American politics. It is often called the third rail of U.S. policy because touching it can end a political career. But behind the scenes, the system has been under financial pressure for years. The number of retirees is growing faster than the number of workers paying into the system. People are living longer, which means benefits must be paid for more years. Healthcare costs are rising, and seniors depend on their checks more than ever. And now, new warnings suggest the system may be heading toward a breaking point. Recently, new government reports sent shockwaves through Washington and across the country. The official Social Security trustees released a warning that the system's main trust fund is running low. If nothing changes, the fund that helps pay retirement benefits could run out of full money in the early 2030s. That does not mean Social Security will disappear completely, but it does mean something far more alarming. If Congress does nothing, Social Security will only be able to pay about 3/4 of promised benefits. In simple terms, millions of seniors could see their monthly checks automatically reduced. For decades, the system collected more money than it paid out. But that changed. Now more money is going out than coming in. Payroll taxes from workers are no longer enough to cover the growing number of retirees. The government has been using savings stored in the trust fund to fill the gap, but that savings account is shrinking every year. Experts say the situation is getting worse because Americans are living longer and retiring in record numbers. Inflation has increased the cost of benefits, and cost of living adjustments have raised monthly payments. At the same time, fewer young workers are supporting more elderly retirees. This imbalance is putting historic pressure on the system. Government officials have known about this problem for years, but political battles and disagreements have delayed major reforms. Now the warnings are no longer theoretical. The countdown clock has started, and millions of Americans are asking the same question. Will Social Security still be there when they need it most? Behind the official reports and government statements, a deeper crisis is quietly unfolding. America is experiencing one of the largest retirement waves in history. The baby boomer generation, tens of millions of Americans born after World War II, is retiring at record speed. Every day, thousands of Americans reach retirement age and begin collecting Social Security. At the same time, fewer young workers are entering the workforce to replace them. This creates a dangerous imbalance. Fewer workers are paying into the system, while more retirees are taking money out. Experts call this a demographic time bomb. People are also living longer than ever before. In the past, many retirees collected benefits for only a few years. Today, some Americans receive Social Security for 20, 30, or even 40 years. That means the government must pay far more money per person than originally planned. Another hidden issue is wage growth. If workers' wages do not rise fast enough, payroll tax revenue grows slowly, while benefits continue to increase with inflation. This gap keeps widening every year. Politicians have known about these problems for decades, but fixing Social Security is politically risky. Raising taxes angers workers. Cutting benefits angers seniors. Raising the retirement age angers everyone. So for years, leaders in Washington delayed the hard decisions. Now, experts warn the system is reaching a tipping point. A crisis that was once decades away is now just a few years from becoming reality. And when that moment arrives, the consequences could be felt in every American household. If Congress does nothing, the consequences could be immediate and painful. When the Social Security Trust Fund runs low, the government is legally required to reduce payments to match incoming payroll taxes. That means automatic benefit cuts. Experts estimate that retirees could lose nearly 1/5 of their monthly checks. For a senior receiving $1,800 a month, that could mean losing more than $300 every single month. For someone already living on a tight budget, that loss could be devastating. Rent payments could become impossible. Grocery bills could become unaffordable. Prescription medications could be skipped. Millions of seniors could be pushed closer to poverty. Social Security is not just a retirement program. It supports disabled Americans who cannot work. It supports widows and children who lost a parent. A sudden cut would impact entire families. Adult children may be forced to financially support elderly parents. Younger families could struggle with new financial burdens. Local communities could feel the pressure as seniors reduce spending on housing, food, and services. Economists warn that large benefit cuts could ripple through the U.S. economy. Less spending means slower economic growth. More seniors needing assistance could increase pressure on Medicaid, food programs, and state budgets. This is why experts call Social Security one of the most powerful economic stabilizers in the country, and why they warn that major cuts could trigger a social and financial shock across America. The warnings from the Social Security trustees have ignited a fierce political debate. Lawmakers in Washington are divided on how to solve the looming crisis. Some call for raising payroll taxes, arguing that workers must contribute more to keep the system solvent. Others push for cutting benefits or gradually increasing the retirement age, claiming these measures are unavoidable. Both sides face intense public backlash. Seniors across the country are outraged, arguing, "We paid into this system our whole lives. Cutting our benefits is a betrayal." Workers and younger generations also express frustration. They fear paying more taxes while receiving less in the future. Social media is filled with heated debates, viral posts, and emotional stories from real Americans. Experts warn that delaying action will only make the crisis worse. Yet, political gridlock continues, with party lines dividing lawmakers and no clear solution in sight. The conflict highlights a fundamental question: who will bear the burden? The government, retirees, or the working population? Analysts warn that unless urgent action is taken, millions of Americans could face financial hardship within the next decade. The clock is ticking, and the public is watching closely, fearing that the promises of Social Security may soon be broken. Experts warn that the next decade could reshape retirement in America forever. Some financial analysts say the best-case scenario is that Congress acts quickly, raising payroll taxes slightly or adjusting benefits gradually. In this scenario, retirees would see small changes and the system would remain mostly intact. The middle scenario is more troubling. Partial reforms may be delayed, resulting in gradual reductions in benefits, slower cost of living adjustments, or increases in the retirement age. Many seniors and future retirees would feel the pinch, and younger workers could face higher taxes. The worst-case scenario is a sudden automatic cut of nearly 19% to Social Security checks. Millions of Americans could lose hundreds of dollars each month overnight, with no time to prepare. Demographers warn that the aging population will continue to grow, putting even more pressure on the system. Economists say inflation, wage stagnation, and rising healthcare costs will only intensify the crisis. Some experts even predict that without significant action, Social Security could face repeated shortfalls over the next 2 decades. The warnings are clear. The system is under strain, and time is running out. Analysts urge Americans to plan now, stay informed, and prepare for changes that could impact their financial security for years to come. With the Social Security crisis looming, experts say preparation is essential. Seniors should review their finances carefully and plan for possible benefit reductions. This may include cutting non-essential expenses, consolidating debts, and creating a detailed monthly budget. Many financial advisors recommend building private retirement savings alongside Social Security. Accounts like 401ks, IRAs, or other investments can provide a financial safety net if benefits are reduced. Workers who are still paying into the system should consider contributing to personal savings plans as early as possible. The earlier you save, the more time your money has to grow. Families should also discuss long-term financial plans. Adult children may need to prepare for potential support of aging parents if benefits are cut. Staying informed about policy changes is critical. Government decisions over the next few years could directly affect your income. Consulting with financial advisors and retirement planners can help individuals understand their options and make strategic decisions before the crisis hits. The bottom line, do not rely solely on Social Security. Plan, save, and prepare now to protect your future. The truth is clear. Social Security is more than just a government program. For millions of Americans, it is a lifeline, a promise that hard work and decades of contributions will be rewarded with security in old age. But that promise is under threat. Experts warn that without urgent action, retirees could see their monthly checks cut, families could face financial strain, and the system that millions depend on could begin to unravel. This is not a distant problem. The crisis is coming, and it could affect you, your parents, or your children within the next decade. The decisions made in Washington today will shape the financial future of the entire nation. It is time to pay attention, plan carefully, and prepare for what may come. Stay informed, protect your family, safeguard your retirement. Subscribe now to stay updated on this unfolding crisis, and don't wait until it's too late. The future of Social Security and the security of millions of Americans depends on what happens next.